All right, look, the other, mate, and it seems to be a time for people resigning. I'll talk about Air New Zealand and Phil Goff later. But Richard Prebble stepped down from the Waitangi Tribunal and gave us a very, very frank interview, didn't he? That was amazing. On Wednesday, we rang him, he said, oh, come on. And he basically painted a picture of a Waitangi Tribunal out of control. A Waitangi Tribunal now looking to invent new ways that people can take grievance against the government and get money out of the taxpayer. And he basically said, I do not want to be part of that. I am gone. I am out of here. A remarkable lack of response from the government to that, in my opinion. So what do we do? What do we do about the problems that Richard Prebble so bravely identified on his departure from the Waitangi Tribunal? Well, one person and one group of people who follow these things closely and might have an idea about where we could go to next. The group Hobson's Pledge, which may be able to advertise in the Herald before too long. And joining us from Hobson's Pledge is spokesperson Thomas Newman. Oh, Thomas, you laugh, but you are one of the groups that the Herald wouldn't take ads from, weren't you?
That is correct. I think we might have been the primary reason for the controversy last year.
I certainly know that you play. My sources tell me that the refusal to take your ads, and I might add we run your ads here on the platform, that might have been part of it.
Yeah, I think we might have just ruined it for everyone. But hopefully there'll be a point in the not too distant future, especially with the change in shareholding of NZME, we'll be able to run our ads again.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to see a change in shareholding. The board is going to go. There's going to be a change in senior management, executive management, and then you're going to see a change in the journalist. I think there is a massive bloodletting coming, Thomas.
Watch out, New Zealand. We'll have front page ads in no time.
Well, we might have some real journalism back. The platform not accepted. So, Thomas, let's get back to the Waitangi Tribunal. A kind of shocking decision from Prebble. But in my conversation with him on Wednesday, he explained very clearly why he had to do it. And it was I found it a disturbing picture of an organisation set up, in the 70s, was it, with very good intent that appears to have gone rogue.
Yes, and I'd agree that the Waitangi Tribunal was set up with a noble intention. As much as anyone else, I don't like the idea that the government could get away with large-scale breaches of people's fundamental rights. But I think what everyone really had in mind back in 1975 was the idea that the Crown had forcibly taken land from Maori, and that had resulted in some dire consequences for them, and that so far as possible, those wrongs should be identified and redressed, which I think is a good thing. I mean, we've seen similar sorts of things with the inquiry into abuse and care. I mean, there's only so much that a government, some number of decades or generations down the track can do about historical wrongs, but at least the fact that they're trying, I think, is a good thing. It has, I think, strayed significantly from that original mandate. And is doing all sorts of very weird things now, certainly things that I don't think anyone imagined they would be doing when it was originally set up.
I want to know, Thomas, and call me naive, it's written a strategy document, which is really what I think pushed Prebble over the edge into resigning. A strategy document that says we're going to develop and grow further and we're going to identify inequality as a reason, as a breach of the treaty. I don't even know who gave the Waitangi Tribunal the ability to review its own performance and set its own strategy. Surely they just do what they are told to by our government and our legislators. To assume this level of autonomy is ridiculous.
Yes, and I think, there could be a simple legislative fix there, an amendment to the Treaty of Waitangi Act that clarifies, their scope, or to the extent that, that there's some kind of weasel words that they could point to say, that we're permitted because of what this is, well, so, yeah, again, simple legislative fix. If I could just mention a couple of things that I think indicates, how far they've gone off track. The incident with Karen Chor last year, I thought was particularly telling because the way that I saw it, basically what they were trying to do is, publicly embarrass her as the Minister for Children, and it was just such a strange saga and a total sideshow when the government had announced they're going to change the law and this is the minister responsible for it. Like, why in the meantime, was the Waitangi Tribunal trying to get her in for cross-examination effectively? I thought it was just totally bizarre. And then just more generally, every time it seems the Crown has announced they've got any significant policy that's going to, conceivably affect the Treaty of Waitangi, and obviously there are some ones that affect it more directly than others, the Waitangi Tribunal considers that it's got legitimate scope to demand a right to review the policy while it's being implemented by the government of the day. I think it's just totally strange.